Multiple safes broken into, drawers ripped open, closets ransacked, boxes of...
What the feds just uncovered in Floyd Mayweather's house is terrifying. They're going after Floyd Mayweather's bag. Remember the brother that walked around with $100 million check in his bag, said he ain't even got to cash it? Well, they on his line.
I think it got to right now because the money gone. So the money's really gone.
In a bombshell revelation, the FBI reportedly uncovered what's being dubbed as a $420 million scam involving Floyd Money Mayweather. As agents raided his Las Vegas mansion, evidence of massive financial manipulation, fraudulent investments, and suspicious overseas accounts surfaced, rattling the very foundation of the retired boxing legend's lavish empire. But what truly escalated this scandal to viral proportions was ESPN's loudest voice, Stephen A. Smith, delivering a passionate, raw, and brutally honest reaction that captured the pulse of the public.
I'll show you a couple toys. They call this the $1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Well, we are on ESPN. These are sports cars. This is a sports network. This car costs $3.2 million. This Bugatti right here costs $1.6 million. You ain't seen these toys.
I haven't seen these?
No.
What? Floyd, this is 7 cars, man. Silver, platinum, Miami, black LA, white Vegas.
Yeah, in New York, I got my drivers.
Federal agents stormed Mayweather's multi-million-dollar mansion in Las Vegas. Reports quickly emerged that the raid was part of a broader investigation into a complex financial scheme involving shell companies, cryptocurrency laundering, and fake investment ventures allegedly linked to Mayweather's inner circle.
Hey, what's up, everybody? So check it out. This morning, I was walking through Beverly Hills, and I passed by Floyd Mayweather's $30 million mansion. It's over 15,000 square feet with 6 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, resort-style backyard.
According to insiders, the FBI seized dozens of electronic devices, financial records, offshore banking documentation, and even encrypted ledgers. The total amount under scrutiny may be estimated at $420 million tied to suspected financial fraud.
Into my lifestyle, showing people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
While Mayweather has always flaunted his money team lifestyle, private jets, Bugattis, diamond chains, and vaults of cash, federal agents now believe that a portion of this wealth may have been built or sustained through illegal means. Shockingly, some documents suggest that Mayweather may have either knowingly invested in or been used as the face of investment scams that defrauded thousands of people, particularly in overseas markets.
How much is it?
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. Ooh. 18 life.
That happy birthday, champ. That's how we doing. That is sick, dude.
Wow.
You gotta show him what he's saying.
Money green.
No,
Hold on. This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd Money Mayweather. 101 piece.
One of one.
Money team.
Can we see it on him?
Yes, sir.
That one of one.
$1.8 million.
It's a one of one. I love that.
Stephen A. Smith has witnessed firsthand the lavish lifestyle Floyd Mayweather leads, including his mansion, luxury cars, and private jet. Smith is well acquainted with Floyd's financial success, having seen the fruits of his hard work and discipline. His exposure to Floyd's wealth gives Smith a deep understanding of the financial empire Mayweather has built, offering a unique perspective on the athlete's business acumen and money management.
Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out
because his hands were hurt too much, and literally walked in the ring and said, I'm going to embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
What adds even more gravity to Stephen A. Smith's passionate response is the fact that he has personally visited Floyd Mayweather's mansion in the past. In previous interviews and podcasts, Smith described Mayweather's home as a monument to success and a testament to what one man can do with talent, discipline, and branding.
Why? Talk to me about why you make the decision to drive different colored cars in respective cities.
Spoiled brat.
Oh, just being a brat?
Just being a brat.
The 7 cars that you showed me are in excess of $15 to $20 million.
Let me see what's the number. We go 3 points.
And you don't drive them.
It's close to 15 million. You're right. It's close to 15 million.
However, once Mayweather stepped into a different phase of his career, exhibition matches. After retirement, Mayweather returned to the ring, not for legacy, but seemingly for money. His fight with Logan Paul is a glaring example. Stephen A. openly criticized this move, pointing out that the bout lacked competitive value. Logan Paul, a YouTuber turned amateur boxer, was not a real challenge for Mayweather. For someone who had once ruled the sport, taking such a fight just screamed cash grab, not greatness.
Boxes, if not the greatest boxer in history. He's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago, and for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor, not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
I just believe.
When Floyd Mayweather was confronted about Logan Paul's accusations of unpaid money during an appearance on the Pivot podcast, he attempted to brush off the question. He reassured the interviewer that he liked YouTube and claimed that the payment was simply delayed, stating that money takes time to come through. Mayweather's response seemed evasive, as he tried to downplay the situation by framing it as a minor delay rather than an issue of not paying his debts.
Logan Paul, he said you owe him some bread. How you feel about someone making those type of accusations?
That comes with the territory.
Right.
And you got to realize, when you used to getting, to them, that's real money. And I like YouTube because I don't mind getting a YouTube check.
Sure, we getting a YouTube check.
Right.
This is going to be a big YouTube check.
Yeah, so, the money is not coming fast enough. That's why when they say money on the back end, as far as pay-per-view, it take a while. Right. And he shouldn't trip. If he feel like he done great numbers and we done record-breaking numbers, then I understand. Nothing comes right away. Just like I'm still collecting checks from fights 7 or 8 years ago. I'm still collecting checks. Why? Because I made smart moves and I'm my own boss. So they hate when a table is turned.
Right.
Look how many years they've been owing us money. But we don't never trip. So now when the table is turned, they say, oh, you owe us something. Be happy with the biggest payday you ever got in your life.
Recent reports have cast doubt on Floyd Mayweather Jr. Awards. Claims of acquiring a $402 million portfolio of 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Despite Mayweather's public assertions and social media posts stating he owns these properties outright, investigations suggest otherwise. In a video posted on Instagram, Mayweather showcased several apartment buildings asserting, "All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners." However, property records reviewed by Business Insider indicate that ownership of these buildings remains unchanged.
Guess what? You can do the same.
All right. Well, now we're trying to figure out what happened, right, with Business Insider. So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before. I'm trying to understand what happened with this, but I know there's a story that's circulating, so just putting it out there. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm trying to understand as a real estate person myself what exactly he is communicating when he's saying that he owns this, because they're trying to make it seem like he doesn't, but what it seems like is that he owns shares of these buildings.
Mayweather Jr. recently addressed rumors suggesting his $402 million real estate investment had led to financial troubles. He asserted that he independently acquired 62 buildings in Manhattan, stating, "I used my own money, and no one else is in on this."
Yes, Floyd Mayweather has reportedly acquired 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan, spending approximately $402 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, "Growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion rather than full ownership of all 62 buildings outright." In summary, Floyd Mayweather has publicly claimed to purchase 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan for $402 million, aiming to enhance affordable housing in the area. While these claims have been widely reported, the exact details and confirmation of ownership are still subject to verification. So even ChatGPT is saying, like, that's not official. Whether Mayweather is saying it or not, ChatGPT is saying it's not official. That deal has not gone through.
However, property records reviewed by Business Insider indicate that ownership of these buildings remains unchanged, suggesting Mayweather may have only acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion. This discrepancy has raised questions about the accuracy of his claims and whether he might have been misled or is withholding details about the deal. Mayweather Jr., celebrated as the highest-paid boxer in history, amassed immense wealth through his undefeated career and savvy self-promotion. After retiring in 2017, he continued to indulge in a lavish lifestyle, acquiring luxury properties and items. However, reports have surfaced indicating that Mayweather faced significant financial challenges, notably a $22.2 million debt to the IRS for unpaid taxes from 2015. This financial strain played a pivotal role in his decision to return to the ring for high-profile exhibition matches.
Floyd Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
Stephen A. Smith has consistently voiced his discomfort with Floyd Mayweather Jr. post-retirement exhibition matches. While he acknowledged that the bout against Conor McGregor was justifiable due to McGregor's combat sports credentials, Smith criticized subsequent exhibitions against less formidable opponents. He argued that these matches, seemingly pursued for easy paydays, risk tarnishing Mayweather's hard-earned legacy.
Gotti III having any real kind of boxing background. I did not see the fight, although I heard he lost every round and Floyd Money Mayweather was whipping him pretty there. I did not see it. I do not know. Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
In a candid interview, Smith directly questioned Mayweather about his priorities, asking whether he valued his legacy over financial gain. Mayweather's responses, which often highlighted his business acumen and revenue generation, led Smith and others to perceive a shift in focus from preserving his boxing legacy to accumulating wealth.
You made money. You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is, I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
We ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses. I don't want my kids to have to answer to nobody. So I will take the long road. I will take the bumps and the bruises for them, but for my loved ones.
But Fear, it's important to point this out about you. You're not just that way when it comes to your family and your children. You're that way with professional athletes. I know NBA players that have relationships with you. Professional football players that have relationships with you, etc. And the same thing that you just said that you preach to your children and your family, you've been preaching to them. That seems to be a personal mission of yours. Why?
It's about giving back. You know, I don't have to go on record and talk about the things that I do. I don't have to go on record.
Adding more fire to the controversy, former UFC fighter and analyst Chael Sonnen revealed an uncomfortable truth. He claimed the Mayweather vs. McGregor fight was not as financially successful as it appeared. According to Sonnen, many of the empty seats were simply filled with people dressed up to look like the crowd was sold out. As someone who covered the event live, he called out the illusion created by Mayweather's PR team.
No, Floyd's not going to do MMA, but he is going to box again. He's enjoying this attention. It's been very smart what he did. I think it surprised him. I think he was just going out to have a little bit of fun. I don't think he realized he could get 4 and 5 weeks of headlines out of this, but he does need to box again, for sure. I mean, you call it breaking news, but I will tell you unequivocally right now, Floyd Mayweather does and is planning to box one more time.
And the motivation behind getting into a ring again to box when he said he's retired, why? Why do it?
Floyd's broke. You got to understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
So anyone, Floyd's made $1 billion. Floyd has gotten $300 million for Pacquiao, $300 million for McGregor. That might be true, but that money does not exist anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so Mike Tyson, he did real well too. Evander Holyfield, again, it's not what you made. And don't forget, boxing and MMA math, whatever that number is, you get 30% of. So 30% of $1 billion, he still did really well, but not when you're spending money like that. I mean, that's just the way it works. We've seen a progression of these guys, one after the next, that all end up the same way. And that's broke, and they're just not smart with their money. And, I mean, that's all it comes down to. I'm not even trying to bag on Floyd. Look, he's just not a very bright guy. He's surrounded with even less bright guys. This is the way it works when you're a boxer and you go spend that kind of money. If you ever buy things that cost money to own, you're going to be broke.
Even in an interview with Stephen Mayweather was asked whether he cared more about his legacy or his money. Mayweather, who is famously known for his money persona, acknowledged that he had made more than $800 million during his career, but maintained that his focus had always been on securing wealth.
I've already, in the sport of boxing, I've already made somewhere upwards of $800 million.
You made money. You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is, I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
We ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses.
Do you believe Floyd Mayweather's exhibition matches enhance or diminish his legacy? Is prioritizing financial gain over competitive challenges justifiable for a retired champion? Share your opinions in the comments below.